Morning. Well, I'm Mike, and today I'm going to do the throttle cable on my 570 RZR that I've been going to do for about a month now. I finally got done with my grandson's Ford Explorer, changing all of his brake lines, changing his power steering pump, putting new rotors, pads, and calipers on it, and helping my wife get our 1971 Corsair travel trailer back together. And we're finally taping it off and getting ready to paint it. So now I can return my attention to the throttle cable on this 570. So as I did in a kind of a parody video before, I found out that the throttle cable was broken on this 570 when I was getting it ready for my kids to come over so they could ride it. So now I finally got it in the barn. I'm getting ready to lift it up, take off the skid plate. That way I can run the throttle cable. All right, let's get some air to my lift. Not really a bad boy because it's only a 570. I wanted to get it up as high as I can because I'm getting fat and I can't get underneath it hardly anymore. So put a couple blocks down there underneath my jack stands, and I'll let her down on my jack stands now and drop my lift out from under it. Shaking her around, she looks pretty solid. I feel safe getting underneath of it. I'm gonna go under there. Got a bunch of 10mm bolts to take out. I got aluminum diamond deck for my skid plate. So go ahead and drop that down. It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. I guess that's me. Oh, there's two over here. Forgot about those. Now there's one one left right there. I'm gonna get my jack under there and so it don't fall down, and I'll get that one out. Boy, that's dirty up in there. That needs a wash job. Bolts in there, I will lose them because I am very good at losing stuff. Okay, so I took the skid plate off. There's 16 bolts and washers supposed to be on there. I found 15 bolts and 15 washers, and I had my wife look and she couldn't find it, so it must have been one missing to start with. If it were just me, I would think I lost it, but since she can't find it, it must have already been gone. Okay, so this little bugger right here goes up on the bottom of the gas pedal, and that's where it broke right there. So, like I said before, I got a new throttle cable. And I'll show you what it looks like where I got it. Alright, so the new throttle cable's right here. I bought it from Winmart on eBay. It was only like $39, vice the 80 some dollars that most of them were. But it's exactly the same. Here's the end right there. When I took the throttle cable out, I just removed these two 10mm Torx bolts right here from underneath the gas pedal, and then I just cut the cable and yanked it out so I didn't have to tear the whole buggy apart to get it done. So now that's why I have to take off the skid plate so that I can put it back in the right way. So I had to go to the hardware store and pick up a couple 6mm bolts for this new throttle cable because the old one was 5/16 bolts. Obviously this one's made in China. Throttle cable goes way up in there. I don't know if you can see it. There's a hole right there. That's where it goes through. I'm going to start here in the front. I'll screw that on from the inside, and then I'll route it down through the clips that are on the various spots here, and then we'll move on to the bottom of the RZR. So one thing I forgot to say is when we took out the old throttle cable, we took the brake pedal off and everything so that we could get in there easier. Now I'm getting ready to put the new one on, and I wished I'd have left the old one in so I know exactly what the routing was underneath, but we'll figure it out. And I just popped the hood off. I can see it's going to be a lot easier to get to it from here. If I didn't have a winch on this thing, it'd be real easy to get to, but since I got the winch in there, it's not so easy. Let's see if I can keep the camera on this while I'm working in here. Probably going to be tough to get my hands in there and get the camera in there at the same time. But we'll give it a shot. So this goes in this hole right here, and just slide that bracket up there like that. Might have to get my wife to help me. So See if I can't get that in there. Okay, so this looks like it's going to be a two-person job. Got Gene out here to help me. Hold that up against there like that so I can get the screws started.
Okay. I'm trying to line these holes up.
Yep, right there. Looks like that one's lined. Alright. The other side's got to tip down a little bit. Right, oh, too far. Up a little more. I think that's it. No, up a little higher. Perfect. Okay, thanks, babe.
Back to my world.
Back to your world.
Tina's world.
Yeah. Alright, so we got that hooked up in there. We'll finish running the cable underneath. I ran this down through where the cable goes, and so I could put the other end up where we just put it in at, because that wouldn't fit through between my winch and the body of the RZR. There's a couple little clips like this one right here up front. It's split. Then it slides into a hole on the frame, and that's where your throttle cable is going to run through up front. If you didn't take your throttle cable out before you start routing your new one, you'll see that. All right, there. So I'm going to go ahead and run those. I believe there's two of them right here in the front, and then I'll get underneath the buggy and finish running it to the back. Right there on your frame. So we got this run through the front three clips I showed you, and on this center bar here there's another one that it runs through, and then on the back one pull that down through there, run your cable up through, and you can see the clip right. Let me back up a little bit here. That's my thumb. That's my cable. There it is right there. So you just reach up there and push down on that and it comes apart. Put your cable in there. Squeeze it back together. Just like that. Then you can finish pulling your cable through. Then you start going up towards the carburetor. You see a clip right there. Push it out like that. Unclip it. Put your cable in there. Push it back together. You're good to go. Now you can get out from under the buggy. When you get up here, you see that loop right there that's on that bolt for your belt cover. Take that bolt out and put the loop over top of your throttle cable. So I'm going to pull my cable through so that it's kind of tight up at the front. That way I can get it into my carburetor and hook it up. Run her through there. Screw this in here. Alright, got her started. Run this around the little loop on the carburetor here. Stick it in the hole. Oop. Of course, you know I couldn't hold on to it with one hand. First thing I'm going to do is put the barrel in the hole. Then I'll turn my cable so that it slips into the little slot. And then pull my cable here so that it's kind of tight. Make sure it's in the right spot. When you put your O-ring back on for your dust cover, don't forget that little tab that's at the back and line that up with the little tab on the O-ring. I like to put a little silicone on there. Helps keep it in there in place while you're putting it in and bolting it down. As it fell out while I'm talking about it.
Last time I had to do these RZR floor samples back
Son of a biscuit. Son of a double biscuit. I dropped a screw. Thought I had it started and you didn't apparently. Alright, got all the screws started finally. They're T20 Torx. Screw them down. Perfect. So like I said, it's just a dust cover. I can put the carburetor back on, and I'll have to adjust the linkage on my throttle cable a little bit, but I'll do that after I hook up the gas pedal. Alright, there that is. Now I'm going to move up here to the gas pedal and the brake pedal and put those back on. After that's done, just got to put the air box back in, and put the skid plate back on the bottom. Test it. It'll be done. Okay, here's your throttle cable coming through right here. We got to put our gas pedal and our brake back in. Push the brake all the way back. Swing it over the top of the steering column. Yeah, just that easy, isn't it? There we go. Bring it over top of your brake cylinder there. Get them slid around so you can get it on your bolts for your brakes. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Get the throttle cable out of the way, maybe. Once you get it slid over in the right spot, it falls right in. So that's the issue. There. Yep. There. All right. I'm gonna come around to the other side. I'll probably get in your way. Try not to. This is the safety cable for you gotta push the brake before it'll start. Reach in here and grab your throttle cable. Pull it out a little bit. Slide it through the little slot right there. Push the plastic clip in there, and it's attached. All you gotta do is put the nuts back on the brake cable and hook up the master cylinder to the pedal. Four nuts. Get your pin that goes through your brake cable, or excuse me, your brake pedal. Hold your master cylinder to it. Push it in there, push the clip in. You're all set. Just tighten up the brake cable. Plug your safety switch back in. It's up here underneath the dash, which you'll know because you had to unplug it to get that out in the first place. Everything's easy to get to. Slide in there till it clips, and you're good to go. Don't forget to tighten up your brake pedal. Brake pedal's 13 millimeter. Well, she fired up. Throttle worked. Good to go. Let's put the skid plate back on it and anything else took off it and have fun. Thanks for watching.